What is Gucci YouTube? It's your boy Black Ch.13, long face, skinny body, and we are back with some more fire Boruto manga related content. And in this video, we will be discussing my guy Kashin Koji, my guy Boruto, right? With the immediate release of chapter 12, one of the topics I've definitely wanted to bring to the channel, which is the possibility of us getting more insight on the relationship and the development and even the beginning of Boruto and Kashin Koji's relationship. And it would ultimately tie into a lot of the main things that are going on. So now with the release date of chapter 13 being so close, this is something we definitely have to discuss here on the channel. So before we get in the video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, smash that like button, share the video with your friends, and let's hop to the business, yes, Sirski.
9 mountains and 8 seas make one world. 1,000 worlds make one chiliocosm. 1 chiliocosm to the power of 3, and there's nothing I can't cut.
Boruto chapter 12 gave us a lot. I mentioned how they gave us a lot in previous videos. I talked about it shortly in the chapter review of the intrigueness on my part, specifically my end, with both Boruto and Kashin Koji, and ultimately how I see things building up. Now, all intent and purposes, this is really just trying to take into the way that Kishimoto is known to write, especially within these last 3 volumes of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex, specifically the first 4 chapters, and then the following 4 after that, and then these last 4 that we just wrapped up. Now, what was interesting between the first 2 volumes was the build-up in the first 4 chapters and how they decided to kick off chapter 5, understanding that chapter 4 is one of my favorite chapters, but chapter 5 reintroduces my favorite character in 2 Blue Vortex, my nigga Sasuke. Big Uchiha vibes. What are you talking about? Everybody was going crazy over the Uchiha style hair Boruto was rocking in the 2-year time skip. The whole confession, oh, you're gonna be as strong as anybody if you just master everything that I taught you. It only took you a year to do so. I got faith. Mad crazy stuff going down. But if we look at the pattern, we can see similar instances between both Kashin Koji and Sasuke in the notion of how each were portrayed and each are introduced in their respective chapters. Now, with the first 4 chapters, it was obvious. And one thing that Kishimoto has done specifically with these 3 characters, Kashin Koji, Momoshiki, and Sasuke, is give us a lot without even giving us a lot, specifically like dialogue around the characters, or dialogue from the characters, or dialogue about the characters. In the first 4 chapters, we heard next to nothing about Sasuke other than Sarada and Shikamaru mentioning his name a few times, yet throughout all 4 of those months, people were speculating different ways Sasuke could be possibly helping Boruto, colluding with Shikamaru, possibly is dead, possibly gone even more rogue, possibly had a confrontation with Code, and then we finally come to find out in chapter 5 what happened and what befell my guy Sasuke. Now, similarly, right, especially without the last chapters, the last 12 chapters going down, we've been having this mystique around Kashin Koji, and admittedly so, it's been probably like the key for his character since he's been introduced in Naruto Next Generations. The mystique, the mysteriousness, all of the elusiveness around him. He's here, he's there. Oh my goodness, what is he planning to do? Why is he always smiling? Is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? The mystique and mysteriousness has always been around the character, right? But if we look specifically just at the last 4 chapters, chapter 12 ended off the volume crazy, just as chapter 4 ended off the volume crazy. And we could see similar situations where both Boruto was in a predicament against the Shinju. He learned some new developments regarding the Shinju, and ultimately Kashin Koji happened to be the one in his ear making the dire decisions. In chapter 4, Boruto came across the Shinju for the first time. He tried to destroy the Ten Tails body before it suddenly vanished, and then we see the Shinju appear. He fights Bug. Matsuri comes in and joins the fight. He gets a heated exchange with Hidari. Chidori and Rasengan clash. Jura pops up flying above the sky because the fight is beneath him, literally and figuratively. And he's like, bro, we not even worried about you right now. Small fry, small time. I'm worried about Naruto Uzumaki, big Kurama vibes. You feel me? It don't matter. old or high, you know what I'm saying, new or low, you feel me? If you're a villain in Naruto verse, you're going after Kurama's chakra, you feel me? So all of these things were happening in Boruto for the first time in those 3 and 4 chapters. We put him in a dilemma, and we seen, okay, so finally now it's looking like, okay, Boruto is really up here. He's out here 1v4 these people, right? And we see Kashin Koji come through at the end, give him the directive. You got to get out of there. Shit is going crazy. And then boom, he lets us know, do you really want to put the world at risk, bro, by being as reckless as you have been, right? And we see similarly here, Kashin Koji is giving Boruto a directive. He's letting Boruto know, okay, yes, this is the Soul Thorn. This is what I've seen before. I've confirmed it. This is what we need in order to save Sasuke. And we understand Boruto is acting off of those orders. And instantly he gets shot in the midst of the chaos, in the midst of Kawaki questioning him and everything going down. So, right. It's not necessarily us discussing, okay, how did Kashin Koji, you feel me, see the Soul Thorn, or did Kashin Koji possibly come across as Shinju in the past? Because I'm not gonna lie, it's something I want to talk about. It's a theory I want to give fruit and food to and life to, but I feel like we might get some more explanation, especially with the upcoming 13th chapter. So I'm gonna hold off on going too deep into that topic, but necessarily not focusing on those ideas, not focusing on, is it possible Boruto and Kashin Koji destroyed the Shinju in the past, but more so on the idea that all of these things are leading up to all of these questions. So it's kind of like a pattern, right? And then the best way to close off the volume, right? Chapter 12, they put Boruto in the dilemma, similar to chapter 4. Kashin Koji has to play his part, right? The stakes are much higher. We see Sarada get shot. We understand a lot of things are happening in front of Konohamaru's eyes. We understand the lie of omnipotence is still very much alive and active. Kawaki is in the vicinity. Delta, my wife, also in the vicinity. So the stakes are very much higher, but similarly, the groundwork is still the same. So now, opening up the next chapter from a chaotic last chapter and a chaotic volume closer, what did chapter 5 do? They answered some questions that we had, right? And they gave us the Sasuke and Boruto mini backstory, which started, opening doors to more questions, but answered ultimately some of the bigger ones we had previously. So now we've still been asking, and it's been a full year, where did Kashin Koji come from, right? Why is he helping Boruto? How did he come across the helping Boruto? Most importantly, where the hell did my man go after he left Ishiki? Is it Mount Myoboku? Is it something else? You feel me? Like, what happened? And then also, and I feel like I'm just being nitpicky here, right? Because we see his arm is healed, his leg is healed. It was revealed in Naruto Next Generations. If you're a cyborg of Amado, you can't go longer than probably like 6 months without getting maintenance done on your body, specifically from him because of his technology and what it requires in order to keep you running at high functionality. And we understand Kashin Koji, yes, although being a clone, he has similar or suspect to have similar functions. When he saw Delta was taken down, he suggested and theorized I might be similarly functioned that way, right? And in the midst of all of the cyborgs being needed to be interrogated for Jigen before he realized that it was actually Amado and Kashin Koji, every cyborg was questioned, and every cyborg had to be, checked in their maintenance in terms of Amado finding out the spy. But in that sense, not to say, obviously we know since Amado and Kashin Koji were the spy, the idea, the thought, the sentence, the words were never brought up of Kashin Koji not being able to, have his body checked for any other reason of not being a cyborg other than him just being on missions and working for Jigen solo. But all of that said, and all of that being put aside, Kashin Koji is fully healed. His body is working, right? I still don't trust the model. I really find it hard to believe he's been in cahoots with Kashin Koji. So how is his body up and at him? Right? Like, how are they in Orochimaru's cave, right? Is Orochimaru actually helping Boruto do some of these things like the wind style breakthrough jutsu that we've never seen Boruto do before and we've only ever seen Orochimaru and Mitsuki do, right? So it's a lot of things that we gotta question about this relationship. And then most importantly, you already know Minato, big OG Namikaze, gotta respect the best Hokage, not the worst, not even the second. He's always number one, will always be number one. But my guy Minato, right, the flying Raijin, his signature jutsu that he's known for, creator of the second Hokage jutsu, right? Boruto managed to master that jutsu, and he familiarizes himself with the fourth Hokage much more so he does in Two Blue Vortex than he does Naruto Next Generations, where Naruto Next Generations, the most significant point was the last chapter where he says, I'm the grandson of the fourth Hokage, like, stop playing with me, put some respect on my name. And we see here again in Two Blue Vortex time and time again where Minato is mentioned, or, you know, shown callbacks to, especially within his little flying rising-esque Rasengan against Hidari on the shoulder. The official Naruto website comes out and blatantly says that with the help of Kashin Koji, Boruto was able to develop this jutsu. So what does that incur? With the help of Kashin Koji, did Kashin Koji give him an idea like, oh, maybe I can just use my toads? Maybe it's possible Boruto can't mark living things or things that move, or maybe he just can't mark things while he's actively like trying to fight or just outside, meaning he has to go back to the laboratory and mark any and everything that he wants in order for it to be marked. But in the midst of battle, he can't mark things like the second Hokage or Minato was able to do while in the middle of battle. So he's like, you know what? How about I just give you a whole bunch of toads and they carry your markers around and then they just go to different parts of the world, and that way you can just guess which part, you know what I'm saying? See if you want to go to the triangle, the square, or the star, or the circle, right? It can be somewhere along theirs. It could be somewhere along Kashin Koji digging into his memories of Jiraiya when Minato somehow first came across the Flying Rasen and reinvented it and molded it for his own and figured out, okay, maybe if Minato did it this way, how about you do it that way? So it's a lot of things, right? A lot of things, but just going away from the Flying Rasen, all in all, the build-up for the first 12 chapters, the intenseness of the last 3 volumes, the biggest mystique aside from, right, Momoshiki, right, aside from Jura, is really what is going on with Kashin Koji and where's Orochimaru, right? Like a lot of questions in that regard. So I believe chapter 13 opening up with the flashback, giving us at least 5 to 6 pages, which is not even asking for a lot, probably just as long or if not longer than the Sasuke flashback, of maybe Boruto leaving the cold fight with Sasuke after he takes Sasuke's sword, then coming across Kashin Koji, or maybe Boruto spending the first 2 or 3 months by himself and then coming across Kashin Koji. Maybe he comes across Orochimaru first. Maybe Orochimaru comes across Boruto. Maybe Orochimaru comes across Boruto and Kashin Koji, and they're fighting because we obviously know Boruto, he thinks of Kashin Koji as the enemy of Kara, even though he saw him take down Jigen. It's still a little confusing, so I shouldn't trust you the first time I see you, right? It should be something very interesting in any of those regards, and even possibly an idea that I don't know. But what I can say, what I do think may happen is that we will get a deeper, detailed explanation on both Boruto and Kashin Koji's relationship going into Boruto chapter 13. How do y'all feel about the possibility of a flashback regarding both Kashin Koji and Boruto? And let me know if y'all think that Kishimoto will possibly give it to us next chapter. Shit boy, Black Chair 3, long face, skinny body. Don't forget to let me know how y'all feel about the video, and let me know what y'all think on both Boruto and Kashin Koji and the possibility of more explanations in terms of their relationship and the development and how things ultimately started off, and if even Orochimaru is a part of the equation at that. Let me know how y'all feel. Comment below. It's your boy Black Child. Holla at your boy. I'm holla at y'all. Black Child. Yes, sir. Ski.